If you guys have never been in a somewhat balanced market or a buyer's market or a high inventory market and you don't really know get listings or how to price listings in that market, how to negotiate offers to get them accepted, you guys don't understand how to lock in listings because you don't know how to present a listing presentation appropriately. You don't know how to have those tough conversations with sellers to get them to price realistically. You're overpricing your stuff and it's not selling and your seller's frustrated and they're canceling. This is where being a professional counts. What I can tell you guys, my best piece of advice for you guys is to make sure that you guys are doing a couple different things. Number one, you guys need to make sure that you are focusing heavily on educating yourself. That's the best piece of advice I can give you guys. You guys are only as good as the knowledge that you have and then the action that you put into place with that knowledge. Comes down to that simple as that. How good you think you are, well, that's going to come down to how good you're doing right now. If you're not doing that great, you're not probably as good as you thought you are. Because I can tell you, we're still doing very well. We're still thriving. We just added 4 more listings this week. We got 3 more coming up next week. We're still doing well. We got 4 more houses under contract this last week as well. So even in a down environment, we know how to have those conversations and we know where to find deals and we know how to get listings. So that comes from experience. That comes from knowing how to have those tough conversations. That comes from, how to set up your listing presentations to make sure that you truly are going to get the results that you promised your sellers. So if you guys are a newer agent and you guys are struggling right now, again, get down to the basics of completely immersing yourself in all of the knowledge that you need to have. You know what I mean? If you feel like you're weak in marketing, I would be investing heavily into whether that is, maybe courses, maybe that's you're hiring a personal coach or something like that. Somebody that's an amazing marketer that can teach you how to market, how to generate business, how to generate leads. If you guys don't understand the rules and regulations, I'd be investing heavily in going in and learning all of those things, right? Getting completely better at your craft. If you guys aren't great at sales, I would be investing very heavily at sales managers, coaches, people that can coach you through the sales process, the psychology of sales, benefit of sales. Like, you guys really need to understand this stuff like the back of your hand. If you guys are in the real estate business and you don't actively invest yourself, or you don't, actively go out and look for good deals, you don't work with investors to find deals, you guys don't understand, a variation of different avenues in real estate, I would invest very heavily on that knowledge right now, because that is what's going to set you apart. That's what's going to give you the confidence to do well. And that's what's going to help you, because again, whatever you thought you knew in the last year or two is not going to apply. As of today, we are doing things very different than we were even 6 months ago. As the market shifts, you have to have the ability to shift, and you have to have a certain skill set and knowledge to make the shift with the market. The conversations change, listing presentations change, or buyer negotiations change. There's a lot of things that are going to change as the market changes. And if you don't have this knowledge, if you guys don't have the experience, you're going to struggle. If you guys are an agent and you're on a team right now and your team lead has only been an agent for the last year or two, guess what? Your team lead probably doesn't know what the hell they're doing. They're not going to be able to help you guys in an environment that they've never even been in themselves. You're probably finding that they're struggling a little bit. Maybe they're getting a listing or two themselves right now, but they're not doing that well. Well, guys, you're not aligned with the right people. In my opinion, you're not giving yourself the best advantage possible to put yourself in a situation to win, because you guys are following somebody that doesn't even know how to do it themselves, because they've never experienced that market. They don't have the knowledge, the experience, or the data behind them to win in this environment. And so it's basically the blind leading the blind. Understanding how to generate leads and having access to leads is going to be more important than ever. As the sales cycle slows down and that window goes wider, if you guys are looking to make a solid career out of this and be full-time, you guys are going to need to up your pipeline to offset the difference. So for example, if you guys were doing 2 to 3 deals per month, let's just say average, but they were going up and coming down very quickly. Well, now as that sales process, that same lead that would have been from the first conversation to close a 45-day process might be a 90 to 120-day process now, which means you're not going to have as many consistent closings per month. The way to offset that is you basically need to up your lead marketing. You need to up your follow-up. You need to up your knowledge on how to get your deals to actually convert or stay in escrow, your ability to negotiate with other agents. There's a whole higher amount of skill in a balanced market than in a hot market than what it's going to take. And again, this is going to come down to you guys educating yourself, investing in your education, your knowledge, and making sure you guys are aligned with a great brokerage that can teach you all of these things. It really comes down to right now, no matter what they teach you guys in school, no matter what you thought you knew, it really just comes down to experience. You need to have somebody that is going to be able to answer your call. When you guys are out there and you guys are in a conversation with a seller or a buyer or a sticky situation, you better have somebody you can pick up the phone and have a very quick conversation that knows how to answer that for you in a very timely manner, because that's going to make all the difference for you guys being successful right now. If you guys are at a brokerage where you hardly ever talk to your broker, you hardly ever talk to your team lead, they're so high up right now, maybe they do have the experience, but you can't get a hold of them. Well, guys, why are you there? What benefit does that bring you if you don't have somebody there to hold your hand through a process and actually coach you and teach you on how to handle some of these difficult transactions? I can't tell you guys how many conversations I have with some of the newer agents or even somewhat tenured agents that come over to have an interview with me and my brokerage. And we kind of ask them, hey, what's prompting you to make the shift? Well, I never see my team lead. I hardly talk to them. I can't get them on the phone. I don't even know who my broker is. I've never even had a conversation with my broker. My broker's too busy for me. They're paying these outrageous splits. And my question is why? I don't understand. Like, if you guys are going to, really truly be successful, the whole point of this is that you guys are aligning yourselves with people that are. My other piece of advice for you guys is just making sure that you guys are aligning yourselves with the right people. You guys are going to see it, as this market continues to balance out, as things continue to level, pay attention, start watching. I'm already seeing a ton of people struggle. I'm seeing a ton of people fall out. And it's really just comes down to two things. It's the people that aren't really in it for the right reasons. They don't treat their business like a business. They're all over the place. They're doing all kinds of different things. They treat real estate kind of like a side business. They don't dedicate their, full-time job to it. They got other hustles going on. And because of that, it's always a part-time thing for them. Well, they're probably going to struggle right now. I see other agents, again, that are aligned with team leads that are new. They don't hardly have any experience. They've only been an agent themselves for a year, 2 years, maybe. They don't really know what it's like to have to sit on listings or how to, really have those tough conversations or how to price accordingly in a down market, how to get creative, some of these deals to get the deal to go through in a high inventory environment. And so now that team leader, those teams are basically struggling because it's like the blind leading the blind.